Once again, this week saw the release of a much anticipated video game system, the Zelda 3DS bundle. Now I know what you're thinking, you did the same joke last week, but that's where you're wrong. This time, I'm not joking. I mean, yeah, the Xbox One launched and it hasn't burnt anybody's house down yet. It does have a better launch lineup than the PS4, but since none of those games are A Link Between Worlds or Super Mario 3D World, I just don't care. I don't know if it's madness or genius for Nintendo to release two major titles on the same day of a next-gen system launch, but either way, it's a good week to be a gamer. And just to drive that point home, rumor has it that TellTale is working on a Game of Thrones adventure game. With The Wolf Among Us already underway and Season 2 of The Walking Dead fast approaching, just how many more awesome properties is this developer going to make games out of? In real-world news, the Senate went nuclear this week with a rule change that would allow court nominations to be passed with a simple majority vote, as opposed to the 60 needed to overcome a filibuster. Thanks to the petulant children that have abused their power over the last 5 years to grind our government to a screeching halt out of spite for the administration, Congress has finally gotten to a point where they need to change the rules just to get the day-to-day business done. And speaking of nuclear, Iran has struck a deal with 6 world powers to slow down their nuclear program in exchange for a reduction of economic sanctions. The 6-month agreement requires that all of the country's uranium be diluted so it cannot be used for military purposes. Reaction to this agreement has been predictable, with Senator John Cornyn of Texas tweeting, "Amazing what the White House will do to distract attention from Obamacare." If the president really just negotiated Iran out of nuclear weapons to distract people away from Obamacare, maybe we should keep the website down a little longer. Of course, the biggest news of the weekend was that Sunday was the much anticipated 50th anniversary of Doctor Who. It's the first time since the reboot that 2 doctors have shared the screen at the same time. And John Hurt was also there to muck up the regeneration numbers, because if there's one thing sci-fi fans are always happy about, it's retroactive changes to continuity. Finally, this week's best YouTube video comes from Slacktory, who cut a trailer for the Avengers using footage from the movie's bloopers. It is the greatest trailer since the one they did with the Star Wars trailers a while back, so go check it out. There's a link in the description. And that's this week in news. Be sure to like and subscribe down below, share this video with your friends, and have a happy Thanksgiving!